How's it going, Coach?
It's going great. Just wrapped up a workout and snuck over here and excited to link up with you, Debbie.
Yeah, it's always great to see you. You have an incredible pedigree of winning. You're trying to build this culture at UIC. Tell us how it's going.
It's going great. We had just a great opportunity to go to Spain this summer in a foreign tour and just really build on our culture and just get ahead of just our system and build some camaraderie. And then we just hit the ground running into preseason, and we're 3 weeks in. We start official practice next week, and girls are working hard and we're healthy. So
healthy is the most important thing, right? Sometimes when people talk about their cultures, it can sound a little cliche because everybody talks about their culture and identity. What are some of the pillars of your culture that you instill every day in your players?
Yeah, absolutely. So it starts with love, how we treat each other, how we interact, how we respect each other. Service, we're a huge service team. Just, getting out in the community, being a part of things that are bigger than ourselves. Okay. And then it goes down to discipline. Okay. Creating habits, routines that translate into success. Resiliency is a big one for us. We talk a lot about just not chasing perfection, but chasing progress. And how we respond to adversity. And then the last, which I think is really important, is synergy and how we connect as a unit and how we become interdependent as a team and rely on each other's strengths and support each other's weaknesses to get to, I guess, our ultimate potential as a team.
Yeah, I mean, those are things that you're striving for every day, I'm sure, that are part of your daily practice. I want to go to the service element of it because players get out in the community and they do some wonderful things and they're great role models and they bring some great recognition to your brand. But I want to know how service works on the court. Tell me the things that you see service play out in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just picking up a teammate off the ground, after they take a charge or just have a tough play, making the extra pass. The idea of service is, one, we're in really unique positions as student athletes where I think we're very fortunate. And this idea of trying to give back to people that are less fortunate or people that are not in your situation, I think translates really nicely to just creating an environment where it's bigger than you, which basketball is, and a team sport, it has to be bigger than you as an individual. And I think it translates really nicely. And I just think my goal as a head coach is to obviously win games, but my mission is to impact young people's lives and make them better people. And so to me, it's a big part of what we do. And our kids are very bought into it and they love doing it. It's who they are at this point.
I love the way you describe that. Your job is one thing, your mission is another, and they're both equally important. Okay, so it takes maturity to do all the things that you're talking about. And you might have the most mature team in the entire country with 11 seniors and or graduate students. How did you put this roster together? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I do. And it's bittersweet. It's good and bad because obviously we got a lot of work to do on the recruiting trail this year. But it all started just in the program that I inherited. They were in a tough position and had only won 2 games, and they were struggling, I thought, for talent that could compete in the Valley. And so I wasn't really picky about years or creating the perfect classes or balance. I really focused on getting the right kids, and we had a bunch of Chicago kids that happened to fall into the same class that just wanted to transfer back home. And I just wasn't willing, when we were in that position of not winning, to turn them away. And so they kind of all ended up stacking in the same class, in addition to 2 or 3 of the kids that we inherited when we took over the program, and Jada McLeod and Christian Young. And then COVID years created a lot of kind of funky rosters. So it's kind of the perfect storm, but to be honest with you, we're embracing it. It's a fun group to coach. We feel like we've put UIC in a position where we could recruit high-level freshmen moving forward. So we're exactly where we want to be.
I mean, it's amazing to look at your roster and see that much experience, and not just older players, but players that have played at previous spots. The vernacular is different from place to place, but it's all the same basic fundamental and concept inside the game. How is that in practice? How are you navigating all of that while you're trying to build your system? And I'm sure in the summer you spent a lot of time with it, but tell us how that works.
Yeah. I mean, they're so bought into each other and winning. Last year, so we've added, what did we add? We added 2 transfers, okay, and no, 3 transfers and a freshman, okay, and 2 freshmen. So we've added kids that we need to come in and contribute, and we know that. But the kids that are returning, the like 9 returners that just have played impact minutes, like they want to win. They were successful last year. That they didn't compete for a championship. So their approach is very much like, we'll do whatever it takes from a team aspect. And so, I mean, we just build that into everything that we do. And, the newcomers have gelled, and the foreign tour really helped us because it allowed us to really create some camaraderie and get some wrinkles out early. And so it's been good, and we're in a good space.
I mean, that's why you go on a tour, right? Is to try to get yourself in a better position. I mean, you have done a remarkable job to go 10-10 in the Valley last year, and now have that winning piece that you're talking about be a part of your frontal lobe every day, right? It's what you're doing every day. Tell me about some of the returners, because you do return your top 3 scorers, and how does that function with all the other new pieces that you've brought in?
Yeah. So I think the unique thing about my top 3 scorers is they were pretty balanced. I think it was Makiyah around 13, Keimari right under her, and Danyel just around 10. And you're going to get a chance to speak to them, all 3 of them today. But, I would have never guessed that those would be my top 3 scorers going into the last season. I thought Jada McLeod would definitely be up there. But I think she was 4th or 5th. And like, we have a team that we're so deep, we're not really going to have many people above 12 points a game. And we like to share the ball. I mean, we were one of the top teams in our conference last year in terms of assists. And so, I mean, I think we're excited, and we have that experience and sort of that confidence coming back in those 3. But I think, I don't think anybody's worried about that. I think the way that we play and share the ball, I think it could be any given person on any given night.
Each year, you've gotten a little bit better. You've been able to play a little bit more the way you want to. This is your 3rd. Is this going to be the year that you can implement the full system with the depth that you have and the style of play that you want to play?
Yes, I think absolutely. And just the comfort. You know what I think it is, Debbie, more than anything, it's the trust. There's a trust there. And that took a lot of time to build, just kids coming from different systems. And I finally feel like we're there in terms of the relationship and the trust amongst me and the players and our coaching staff and the players, where they understand that our jobs is to help make them better. And there's not a whole lot of emotions tied beyond, amongst that. They're coachable. They're, ready to learn anything. They're ready to adjust. And we have the players and the athletes to do what I want to do, which is basically press for 40 minutes and play fast.
Well, that is going to be fun to watch. And I can't wait to see you implement all this talent that you have, all these upperclassmen. And we're looking forward to watching you throughout the course of the year. Coach Bracey from UIC with 11 veteran players on her roster. This should be fun to watch.
Thank you so much, Debbie.
Welcome to the Missouri Valley Preview Show. Danyel Middleton. Great to see you, Danny. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Like, you got a veteran group. You got a lot of upperclassmen. How's practice going with all this maturity on the floor?
Practice is actually going really good. We brought in a couple new people, helping them along the way to understand, our standards. So everybody falling in line the way that it needs to be falling in line.
Coach says you guys are going to play with a lot of depth, with a lot of pace, press for 40 minutes. How exciting is that as a player to be a part of?
It's so exciting. That's all. I love defense, so that's all we looking for.
Oh, we like to talk about offense on the Missouri Valley Preview Show. So we know you're a great defender, and we know you're a lockdown D, and you like to take the top opponent on the other team, don't you?
Yes.
Why is that?
It just shows you have heart, no fear in anything that you do. I love a big challenge. I love guarding the best player. I just want to show you that I'm one of the same ones as you. So,
how much film do you watch as a defensive player to prepare for your opponent?
I watch film every single day when I know that we have an assignment. I say about like 4 to 5 hours a day, and I'm taking notes. I'm writing every note down that I feel like what's their weakness and what's their strength. Yeah.
Sometimes when players prepare that much, it can be so instinctive for them and not just reactionary. And then there's the anticipation skills that you need on the defensive end. How does all that work together for you?
I think just being so locked in to the game and just understanding, just having an assignment on in general. So having an assignment helps me out so much better, knowing that I have to do this for the team in order to get the win. So
when you have this much veteran players, and this could be the oldest team in Division I college basketball, how does that manifest itself off the floor?
It just shows that what we're capable of and what's ahead of us. Being in the veteran group, it's exciting. Some people think that it's a sad thing because we leave the next year, but I think this is our mark where we set the tone and just show everybody who we are. Like, this is a development of a team that we've been waiting for.
You are one of 3 returning players that averaged in double figures last year. What did you add to your offensive game this year?
A lot of post moves. You're
going to invert to the block a little bit. I like it. You're going to show those post players how to do it, huh?
We're going to do something.
What are we going to see? The drop step, the step through, the half hook? What do you got?
Lots of step throughs, lots of drop steps, fadeaways.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that mismatch inside. Danyel Middleton, thank you so much for being with us on the Missouri Valley Preview Show. Keimari Rimmer, she's a rim runner from UIC. Thanks for coming on the preview show with us, Keimari. How's it going?
It's good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm ready for the season to get going. What are you most looking forward to this year?
Likewise, I think I'm most looking forward to is our team chemistry and just showing how much work we've put in the off season. I think it's really going to come. It's going to be something special.
What did you learn from your trip to Spain that was able to bring this group together?
I think the biggest thing that I learned is to value our weaknesses and strengthen our team chemistry. So it's like sometimes we look at weaknesses as a bad thing, but weaknesses are also a good thing, because for us, in our sense, when someone's weak at something, someone is striving in another area. So work everybody to their strengths, and then with the people who do have weaknesses, like we all do, let's work on those weaknesses with people's strengths.
Keimari, that sounds like the attitude of a complete winner. Now, how much do you guys want to turn it around this year? You went 10-10 in the league last year. This is a competitive Valley. What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking for, honestly, the competition. I feel like every time we play a team, it's never decreasing in talent. It just changes up the way we play as a team and the things that we need to work on. So I'm really excited for the competition and just to really, hopefully get a banner.
I like to talk about banners, that's for sure. When you look at your non-conference schedule, sometimes coaches put it together to be challenging to get you ready for the conference. How do you feel about your non-conference, and what are you circling on your calendar?
For sure, I think the game that I'm circling is the LSU, because me and Anissa played together at DePaul. Both great competitors, so I think it'll be good to, go back against competition. But I think our non-conference schedule is challenging, but it will prepare us for a very tough league.
What is the thing about the Missouri Valley that makes it so tough?
I think the perseverance in each team. Sometimes we get a lead on someone, and it's in most leagues, it's kind of done. But sometimes when you have a lead, that team could turn it around in 2 minutes. So just the resiliency of the league itself, I think that's what I like the most.
And Keimari, one of the pillars of your culture, according to Coach, is resilience. So we know during the course of the year, every team, every player will have some measure of adversity. How do you know this group's going to be able to bounce back together?
I think I know how we're going to bounce back together, because the offseason we went through a lot of tough things. And as a team, we've built a foundation to where those things aren't hindering us. They're only progressing us. So seeing the offseason and how much perseverance we've had, I think that's going to work more towards our resiliency.
Keimari, to listen to you and listen to your teammates, the energy that you guys are bringing and providing together is going to make for a really fun watch and listen on your team. Good luck this year as UIC takes on all challengers with 11 graduate students and seniors. Have fun this year.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Makiyah Williams led UIC in scoring last year, but she's bolstered by a couple of other veteran players that provided double figures. Makiyah, we are so looking forward to seeing you play this year. Tell us a little bit about how practice is going so far.
So far, we're just working on building our chemistry with the newer players. We have some great people coming in. that can like help us improve our game, our style of play. We like to play fast, and we do got a lot of fast guards that came in. So practice been pretty fun.
I can imagine it's been fun. 40 minutes of incredible pressure, putting the other team under duress on defense, and then keeping the pressure on with your fast-paced offense. What's most fun about this style of play?
I think the most fun thing is that like we all can score. So just like being happy for each other, everybody getting buckets and stuff.
You guys aren't going to be sneaking up on anybody this year. You know that, right? You're not sneaking up on anybody, Makiyah.
Yeah, no, they know us now.
They know. They have a lot of respect for what you're doing and what Coach Bracey is building. When you think about your team and the older group of players that you have on college basketball standards, this is a very old, mature-looking group. There's not going to be anybody with arthritis or anybody drawing Social Security out of this group, is there?
No, hopefully not. Hopefully we can stay healthy so we can compete for a championship.
What did you add to your game from last year? You led the team in scoring, and you have complementary players around you, and you've added more talent. What did you add to your game?
So this year I've been focused on defense and getting my teammates involved, and then also just like the pace of the game. Like I'm understanding the game more now, so I've been working on the pace of the game, changing paces, and not always trying to play fast.
When you're trying to play fast and you're changing the tempo, the off season is usually really important for getting yourself in shape and the right condition to be able to play. With your depth, you're probably going to need to play 28, 29 minutes. How'd you do that?
I'll say just like working on my body in the weight room, conditioning, and just like this isn't, well, a lot of people don't pay attention to this piece of the game, but like the mental piece of the game, that's what I focused on too. Yeah,
tell me about film work, how you get yourself ready, knowing that you're the top person on the scouting report for the other team. What are some of the things that you're thinking about in your preparation?
Preparation is exactly what I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of like the other team and how like they gonna plan to like stop me and stuff. I'm thinking like I prepared for this. I know what's coming. I know like people gonna like trap me when I get the ball in the paint. Like, so it's just like my preparation. Like I worked for it, so I just trust my work.
Your other teammates talked about banners and winning, and you've got a team that will expect to win. You have players that have come to the program that are winners. Coach Bracey has been a championship caliber player in this league. She knows what it takes to win. What do you think is going to be the determining factor as you try to close out games this year?
I would say just like we all have to be determined as a team and like stay together. Usually like during the hard times and stuff, you see teams separate. We want to be like close, like tight huddles, more high fives during those hard times. So that's what's going to help us compete for those banners.
And that's what we'll be looking for when you're competing in the Valley after going 10-10 last year. There's high expectations at UIC this year. Makiyah, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.